Hey, what's going on, friends and family? My name is Skylent, and I do like me some card games. Now, I do have a couple of top 10 lists. I'm just going to slap in the description there in the comments if you guys want to click on those for some cool card games that you might want to play. But I will say that my bias comes towards games that have tactical elements added to them. So that's going to be like Duelist, that's going to be like Faria. That stuff is like what gets me off, man. But still, card game CCG is really exciting stuff. And Magic the Gathering was one of those card games that I fell in love with. Now, because of the cost of keeping up with it, I wasn't able to keep up with it, and I think many of you are the same way, and actually many people are like that for basically any card game. See, collecting these cards is pretty hard, but digital CCGs kind of make that a little bit easier. I don't know, you might want to ask some Hearthstone players, but basically, digital CCG is probably the way to go for any future card collecting tabletop game. Probably gonna come over to the digital space. I don't see why not. Or even just a lot of tabletop games, probably gonna come over and make digital versions. I don't know. I just got Tabletop Simulator, so I'm excited to try that with some games. But anyways, Magic the Gathering is a really cool game. It's like super dope, dudes. And I think a lot of people who play the tabletop game, or even played some, or the plethora of these, the Magic the Gathering card games, it's been cool stuff. You know, it's cool. But for digital card games to compete with Hearthstone or any of these other, like, it's just not good enough. It's simply not good enough what they've been putting out lately. So that's why we have a new announcement here, Magic the Gathering Arena, which is supposed to be completely trumping all of the previous Magic the Gathering, not just say Magic, any of the previous Magic card games. That is digital, that is. Okay, so there have been a few. Some are free to play and stuff like that. And it's like, it's decent, I think, some people would say. Some people would say it's totally not at all whatsoever, and it defeats the purpose of what Magic is by limiting decks, stuff like that. I understand. Now, I'm not super hardcore into Magic. However, I promise you that I am actually going to be covering this game because I've covered every CCG that's come out since. And actually, I'm about to do Fable Fortune, whatever. Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's cool. I think it's cool stuff. I want to jump back into Magic, but I do have some things that I want to speculate on. But first, let's just go talk about the gameplay and the footage that we have here. And you know, you're seeing right now. If you want to see the full hour-long stream, I'll link that in the description as well, guys. Okay, so Magic the Gathering Arena. This is basically like they're just taking Magic, and hopefully it's just going to be Magic. It's just going to be Magic, and it's going to build from here. This is going to be the one game. Hopefully, it's not going to fragment players to another, like, you know, Magic the Gathering Coliseum or something like that. Please, just let this be the one. And if you go to the website, they make it seem like this is it. They're going to completely focus and dedicate on just this one game. So I think it's going to definitely have increased production value because they run on a new engine. I mean, they're really selling like the future, the scalability, you know, what they can do potentially with the polish of this game in the future. You know, all the cards they're going to be adding, all the effects they're going to be adding, all the cool stuff. You know, they're going to maybe push esports. I guess, what is it, esports? I guess, I mean, if it's a tabletop, but it's digital, I guess esports. They're going to be pushing competition in Magic the Gathering. They're going to also be trying to get a lot of new players in with this, obviously. Like, this is going to be their champion. This is their game. This is their baby. Now, like I said, there's been some other games, but hopefully that's all in the past. You know, that's said and done. It kind of sucks for people who maybe spent money on those games and spent a lot of time on those games and learned those unique rule sets, but Magic the Gathering Arena seems to have, I think it's going to have multiple rule sets, or it's going to have maybe the ability to have custom lobbies with custom rule sets, because I know that's a big thing in Magic. Hopefully, basically what Arena is, and what I want it to be, is basically a card game that essentially is Hearthstone, if that makes sense. Like, it just has cool effects, you know, cool sounds. It just makes it really appealing graphically. It just looks good. It plays good. That's what I want, but still just Magic the Gathering. Give us custom lobbies so we can have custom rule sets. Hopefully we can do, you know, like free-for-all type matches, 2v2, weird stuff like that. That's why I enjoyed playing the tabletop version of Magic. So hopefully we get that in Arena as well. And hopefully it doesn't just completely just focus on competition in the I guess the arena climbing like we do have in Hearthstone. You have the arena, you have just your quick play, and then you have your competition, your ranked ladder. Hopefully we have more than that, because I feel like that's kind of what makes Magic special, is you have all these weird cards that do weird stuffs, man. It's not simple. It's not as straightforward as Hearthstone, but, you know, overly complicated with RNG. No, Magic the Gathering just has a lot of really ridiculous, very specific spell effects and cards and monsters that just, like, you can make so many different weird cards and decks and abilities and just really crazy strategies. And strategy is the most important aspect to CCG, in my opinion, so I like Magic because it has awesome deck building. But it's also really cool because you can have different kind of game modes and rule sets and stuff like that. I don't know. I really want that, so it's a little bit of speculation. But basically, the gameplay is essentially, it looks like Magic the Gathering, but just kind of more colorful, you know, because it's a digital card game. It really very much emulates Hearthstone, I think. I think we can all agree that a lot of the effects and the way the game sounds, it just kind of Hearthstone-y. Now, it's not copying mechanically Hearthstone, but come on, guys. We know why the game's popular. Hearthstone versus Magic. That comparison is going to be made. Even I know Hearthstone definitely borrowed a lot from Magic the Gathering. I know this, guys. I played Magic back in the day with you, okay? I played all those card games. I got that Yu-Gi-Oh! I got that Pokemon. I got those other obscure things. I don't know, Duel Monsters or whatever. I played all that with you guys, okay? I understand. But when it comes to the digital space, there's a reason why Hearthstone is a freaking titan, okay? It just looks and plays good. Real freaking good like. Now, Magic, it's still going to be probably a slower paced game, and like I said, it's going to be overly complicated, but as we saw with Hearthstone, people fucking love chaos. People love ridiculous shit, okay? Hearthstone has all sorts of RNG, so if we could just change that from RNG and, you know, make it towards just like really ridiculous spells and, you know, all these little monsters that do very specific things, I think people will have fun with that. I think we'd have a lot of fun with it. Just, you know, slap in some cool game modes, allow us to have custom lobbies, things like that. And I don't know, there's a lot of cool things that could happen with this game, but basically I do think that the gameplay really does just speak for itself. It's Magic the Gathering, but it just looks real nice. That's the idea. That's the sort of foundation that they're laying down. Is, okay, we understand the other Magic games were limited in some ways or another. They didn't work as well. They weren't as optimized. They just didn't feel as good. This is going to be the game that's going to feel good. It's going to be fully Magic the Gathering. And then from there, we're hopefully going to build onto that foundation. We're going to go places. So let's kind of start speculating here. Since this is a pre-impression, I can't actually tell you, you know, basically anything else. But if we're looking at the website, and if we're looking at the trailers and what they've had to say, I might actually get some things wrong or assume some things wrong, or if it has actually been clarified, please let me know in the comments below. But basically what I want to see is 100% accurate Magic gameplay. As in, like, the tabletop, I want this to replace the tabletop version. And I know that's going to hurt some people's feelings, but digital CCG just makes sense. I know a lot of people are addicted to collecting cards and things like that. That's neat and stuff, but that's your own addiction. That's your own personal problem. You know, the chemicals in your brain that's firing off. I want to play a game with as many people as possible. I want to have that competition, and I want to have the ease of access of acquiring new cards. So digital is the way to go. I want that to be the main focus. So it says here on the website, accurate to the Magic rule set. I want it to stay that way. I want it to be the definitive competitive card game. That's what I want, so that there's a tunnel vision focus on esports, so that we can really promote Magic once again, make it top dog once again. So yeah, it says every card in standard format. Awesome. Card sets release alongside tabletop Magic. Cool, cool, cool. As long as it's on parity or even ahead of time, that's neat. I really hope that it's identical. Please be identical. Either identical or just drop the tabletop. Again, I know how some people feel about that, but I think, you know, this game will be ported to mobile devices eventually, so okay. Around 1,000 new cards added each year. That's neat, of course, because Magic the Gathering, we know you make money, okay? That's not really a bonus. In fact, in some ways, that might be a detriment, because that's cards we have to collect. So here's our first thing that we got to talk about, is we're going to have completely accurate cards, right? And it's going to be set alongside the tabletop. So everything's going to release at the same time. So it's basically going to be identical. It's going to be a digital version of the tabletop version. But how much are these cards going to cost? Because it should be freaking cheaper. It should be much cheaper. And at the same time, I think we're going to need some public RNG percentage of somehow of like, if we buy a digital card pack, it's going to be the same chances of getting cards and things as a physical pack, or like I just need to know those percentages. Or if they could do something like Pokemon, which I think is really cool, where if you buy a Pokemon pack, you actually get a code for the online game. So when you get a physical pack, you get a code, and you get that for the digital game as well. That's a brilliant strategy. I would rather it be to, like, if there was some way to have a unique code on every single individual card. So then, like, if you get a rare card in a physical pack, so you have like a super, you know, like, I don't know, some super rare dragon monster thing, epicosity. Okay, you love the art, you love everything about it. You want it in your digital collection as well. So if you draw that physically, it would be really cool if there's a little special code on the card. So then you could just get that specific card as well, but probably not. It's probably just gonna be like Pokemon. I hope so. And if it doesn't have that, and they're totally separate, and you gotta buy 2 different packs for each, that's going to kill the game. So please, everybody, give me a thumbs up if you like that idea. So next up here, we have talking about the play your way. This is pretty cool. So this is kind of bouncing off of it's authentic Magic, and then we go to like another tab here, and it's going to say play your way. So we're going to have like the standard, you know, the rules, the competitive scene, but then it says play your own way. The game will grow, give you many ways to compete against other players and explore new strategies. I'm assuming that we're going to have, see, it just says more to come. It says ranked matchmaking, draft events, casual constructed, blah, 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 and then more to come. So are we going to have those fun game modes like we see in Hearthstone or in some of these other games like Faria and Duelist? Can we have some of that? Because that's what we do. Like, I don't know about you guys, but Magic, even though as serious as it is, as complicated as it can be, it's still a super fun casual game because it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Just like in many ways, it kind of like that's what Hearthstone is emulating, though they use RNG instead. But like Magic can be so ridiculous and fun and chaotic that I really want to see those game modes also in the game. Please, please allow that. So it's probably not going to be at launch, but eventually maybe. So next up, it says fast-paced gameplay here. We want every match to feel fun and exciting without sacrifice on depth and strategy. That's good. Hopefully the timers are very strict. Hopefully, you know, the effects and everything happen really quickly, briefly here. And it does look like there's going to be custom effects actually overlaid here. I don't know if that's going to be in early access, when that's going to happen, when we're actually going to get those big effects. But it actually shows like somebody throwing down a griffin or something, and then there's like a ghost griffin that kind of flies across the screen a little. I don't know. It's kind of cool. So hopefully it is zippity zoom fast gameplay, but I don't know why they say that. It says fast gameplay, and then it says all this other stuff here. It says built for streaming, easy to understand, quicker matches, challenging competition. What the fuck does any of this mean? It's super vague as hell. Like, what? I don't understand any of this. This doesn't mean anything. Magic the Gathering, I don't think is generally the fastest game. Like, things can get pretty drawn out, but maybe I'm mistaken. I mean, you have to build up resources, and you know, with the tapping mechanic and everything, I don't know, dude. Like, maybe. I don't know how they're gonna change it. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I'm just remembering wrong. Maybe Magic is super fast paced at a high level because I never played at a high level, so I don't know. But it's just kind of weird. It says it's built for streaming, easy to understand. Not really. Compared to Hearthstone, I don't know how you're going to twist this, and if it's the same as the tabletop game, Magic is just, it's just objectively much more complicated than Hearthstone. I mean, Hearthstone, like, again, they translate everything to smaller numbers, and they use RNG and a lot of chance-based stuff to complicate things, so the complication is kind of in a different way and metaphor. I'm trying not to hurt people's feelings, but Magic the Gathering's got a fucking lot of words on every single card. Like, there's a whole lot of reading to be had. And the rules are a little bit more intricate than Hearthstone. So I just don't know. Maybe they're just saying that the engine's gonna run real good like, and you can stream pretty freaking easy. Maybe that is. As a side note, I think it's kind of interesting there, actually. The screenshot that they're using, you guys can't see it right now, but whatever. I'm looking at this image, and it's actually, I think it's Photoshop, because the submit button isn't even actually fully HD to the screen. It's actually off the screen a little bit. It's pretty weird. Pretty weird. Anyways, moving on. Just nitpicking here. Oh yeah, it's totally Photoshop. It's completely Photoshop. Yep, that's a dang on diddly Photoshop right there. Anyways, it's not even a picture of a guy playing the game. But anyways, we have a game that evolves. So this is kind of something that excites me here. And now you can't really look at these websites and take everything at face value, like I was kind of making fun of earlier with the Photoshop, as well as what the fuck do they even mean by fast-paced. You can't really just trust developers, but that's kind of why you're watching this video, right? So when I've played a lot of these games, I've done a lot of pre-impressions, first impressions, full reviews on card games. I did Faria most recently for a card game review. But like I've played these games, okay? And while I'm not a master at any of them, I've played a lot of them, and I've seen a lot of them come out and publish themselves. And here I feel that Magic is finally, like all the other attempts were completely half-assed. I don't care if I hurt your feelings there because you really liked those other digital games. They were completely half-assed. In this one, it seems like they're really making the push for a very serious product. Of course, they're having some missteps here with their promotion, I can obviously see. Also, their hour-long stream to show off the game, I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like there's probably a better way to really promote the game. It was just kind of cringy. You know, I had to skip through some things because I'm very empathetic. So anyways, I think they could have done a better job, but they are, at least when it comes to the gameplay, they're being very serious about it. However, as we know with card games or any video game, the publishing really matters. Anyways, so here we're on the website. It says, a game that evolves. Magic the Gathering Arena is built to grow with how and where you like to play games. Cool. Developed on a modern gaming engine, whatever the fuck that means. Created with new games rules engine. I fucking have no idea what that means. Created with a new games rules engine. Does that mean that, like, what? Actually, I have no idea. Like, is that what I want? Are you saying that I can make my own rules and make my own lobbies? Like, I don't understand. Starting PC only. Okay, that's kind of a big thing. So that I think they want to make a really polished product on just one platform, and PC's like that platform they want to start on. But at the same time, really being a tabletop game, and of course competing with Hearthstone, you really want it to be cross-platform immediately, like as soon as possible, because we kind of saw what happened with Duelist and Faria when they didn't make it as soon as possible. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, in one way it's positive, but in another way it's negative. So here's another misstep, I think, in my opinion. It should immediately be cross-platform and immediately launch, because its competitors that are coming out are doing that now. Made for Magic's future, whatever that means. You can't click on any of these things. It doesn't really explain anything. It's super vague. I don't know. Maybe it's just trying to sell the game to you, but it's not actually selling anything to me. I have no idea what you're selling. But basically, what I'm assuming is that, like I said, it's just a foundation. We have, a high production value. I want to say a card game CCG. Of course, it's going to be higher production value as the game goes on. Hopefully, we're going to get better effects, better sound effects, more game rules, more fun game modes, different game backgrounds, like in Hearthstone, stuff like that. Just really high production value. But now I want to talk about some things that I can really only kind of guesstimate. So I'm really hoping that immediately this game instantaneously ports to mobile devices. I hope instantaneously it gives us the ability to set up our own lobbies, our own servers, so that we can have multiple people spectating and rotating through. Hopefully we have those really fun game modes we can try to play and, do weird stuff with. We can set up our own, like entire game set rules where maybe it's like, I don't know, like mana just doesn't exist anymore. Everyone always has full mana. You can just throw down, just weird, stupid rules like that makes Magic just crazy. It makes it crazy, dude. So I like that kind of stuff. I want that, let us play with our friends the way we want to play, like we would normally be able to do with a physical game. Please port it to mobile ASAP. I know that it's saying, hey, PC only, guys. Yeah, we're really focusing on the one thing. But that's really what that's telling me, is that you're actually not putting that much money into the game based on the publishing that I'm seeing so far. Is you're not actually making a big push to really promote this at the moment. I don't know why. And you're not really trying to sell this game to new players at the moment. It's just super vague, random bullshit that doesn't make any sense, I think. And you're not giving me enough meat, dude. You're not giving me enough to chew on here for this game. I definitely think there's probably going to be some problems, like how when games like a lot of people like tapping, fully turning the card horizontal, but in this, the graphic is it turns like diagonal, and then you get a little symbol, it grays it out. Some people have already commented that that's not good enough. I don't know if they're listening to feedback, and that's cool. And that's what it says here. They're listening to feedback built by world-class video game developers, whatever the fuck that means. I don't care. I think it's bullshit. There's a lot of people who have made some really big games who have made sequels that fucking suck. So that means shit to me. Designed by the people who make Magic. Again, I don't care. Magic has been kind of not doing super amazing with the digital space for a while. Perfected with your feedback. I like that. I like seeing that. I like that it's actually like something that's promoted. That's pretty neat. Hashtag MTG Arena. Okay, Magic the Gathering Arena hashtag. I think that's pretty neat. I think that's pretty cool. But it's me playing all these different games, me seeing all sorts of games being published in certain ways. The way I'm feeling about this is that this is I feel like it's kind of like a Hail Mary. I feel like they're kind of spending a bare amount of resources doing everything, just a little bit of money doing kind of like to me, seemingly a lazy stream. To me, the way the website is set up, it's not big enough. It doesn't explain enough. And what if I didn't know Magic the Gathering? Because this says nothing about Magic the Gathering. I have no idea how Magic works. If you go to Duelist or Faria or Hearthstone, like you immediately start to understand how the game works and what makes it special. But here, it's just like, oh, it's Magic. You know what Magic is. No, fucking not everybody does. Everyone knows what Hearthstone is now, but not everybody knows Magic. So this is kind of really, I think, just kind of promoting itself. I mean, I know it wants new players, but I think it's really at this moment in time, I think it's just like, hey, you guys who do play Magic, if you would play our digital version of the game, this is the definitive version. We're trying to make it the best we can. But to me, is good enough actually good enough? Well, I think you guys have been watching me for a little bit to know that it's not. Good enough is not good enough. I want the best. I want to see a very serious attempt. I want to see you putting money, time, effort. I want to see you bleed to make this game an esport. I want to see you guys actually really put effort into all of this, the website, the promotion. I want to see new players coming into this game. I want to see you highly ranked on Twitch. I want to see tons of tournaments. I want to see the ability for players to make their own tournaments, so then we can have like community-based tournaments. Games that have done that have historically been able to exist with lower player numbers, so that's kind of, I think it's a good safety net. Plus, as well as we saw with Dota, it makes it fucking huge Oh my God. And League of Legends as well with the weekly tournaments that some websites do. So please partner with, actually, wait, what is this? I don't see any partnership with esports, any sort of esport community or anything like that. Maybe it's like, I don't know if it's, I don't see anything with MLG, ESL or anything like that, because other card games actually do promote that. It's like esports, man, we're doing that because it's a competitive, it's a card game, it's competitive, so why not? But I'm not seeing that here. It's really bare bones at this moment, and I really need to get that across. Is like, yeah, this is cool, it's a nice step, I'm glad they're finally getting a definitive version, but this definitive version is not launching with the power of Hearthstone. It is not going to launch with the uniquity of these other games. They're going to have like those niche communities like a Duelist has, where it's like, holy shit, it's a whole new game. This is like the third or fourth attempt at a Magic the card game. People are going to be skeptical. Magic has already been waning. It's fucking expensive if you play the tabletop version. It's really hard to keep people really like engaged with this. I know I quit. And this card game needs to pull all the stops. You got to go all the way, man. You got to keep the hype alive. And that's what I'm all about. That's what I'm all about talking about. So yes, I'm excited for it. Hashtag Magic the Gathering Arena, MTG Arena. Sure, I'll be playing it just like I play every card game, but will I continue to play it? Well, that all depends on what Magic the Gathering does. We'll see where it goes. Hopefully it goes in every direction, full force, because that's what it needs to do. Silly game modes, custom servers, ability to 1v1, mobile device ports. It needs to run great, look great. It needs to be the full competitive game, and I need it to not fucking be expensive, dude. If it's just ridiculously expensive, I'm out. And today, thanks guys for watching, but I'm gonna end on one last note, one last little thought I just had here actually. So, think about this. Magic the Gathering is kind of known for its artwork. Is it not? Is it not? Have you, even if you don't play Magic, you've looked at Magic the Gathering artwork and like, you were wowed, okay? It's some good stuff. And the flavor text is amazing too in a lot of these cards. And a lot of times you'll have like alternate art. I wonder, is there alternate flavor text? Anyways, there's a lot of cosmetic alterations within Magic the Gathering. Like historically, that's just the way it's been. People have actually gone out of their way and spent lots of money just to have a specific art card, like a mana card or whatever, so that they could, I don't know, have it in their collection. It's just a cosmetic thing to play with. So, since card games are known for being kind of a little bit pay to win, since card games are known for being so grindy and so hard to actually get into and engage, wouldn't it be great if Magic the Gathering Arena was actually fairly priced compared to competitors? Hearthstone made it very easy to get into the game. You could buy entire season packs, stuff like that, like Duelist has, and Faria used to have, but then they quit because, hey, pay to win's pretty money maker. And maybe, this is what I'm thinking, what if they actually mainly, in my opinion, I think they should only, but what if they mainly focused on cosmetics? This is the only card game that really pushes alternate artworks. No other card game really has such an emphasis on having multiple, like a single card, like a land card, like an island or whatever, a single card that has different artworks and maybe different flavor text and stuff like that. I think that would be ingenious. I think that'd be awesome, and especially in the digital card game, since it's going to have unique special effects per card. It'd be cool if you can have extra effects. You know, like before we were talking about the like Griffin or Owl or whatever. They spawn it and it kind of shows like a ghost 3D image of that creature whenever it attacks or spawns. It'd be cool if maybe you could change the color, if it could have an extra effect, maybe golden, maybe a different kind of noise when it spawns, things like that to make it a little bit more explosive that you could pay for. So like, the people know it's like, oh shit, man, he really likes that card. He slaps that card down all the time. Dude, he's got all the effects on, he's got all the dressings on that shit. I need to be worried about that shit. That would be awesome. And I know I'm kind of acting like a kid. I'm a little bit gushing, and at the same time, I'm almost yelling at this game because I'm like choking it right now in my mind. I want you, please, be good, because I want to jump back in. I think that a lot of people mistake that when I do first impressions and things. It's like, why do you hate every game? I don't. I like it so much, and I want to like it. I want to like it. So if you really want this to work, Magic the Gathering, you know what you got to do. You got to really put in the time and effort. So please, if you do that, then the players will come and they'll put an equal amount of time, effort, and fill your pockets with money for the continuation of this game that we have loved and many still love today. Thanks for watching, my friends and family. My name is Skylent. This is my pre-impressions of Magic the Gathering Arena. If you have any thoughts, feelings, or corrections that you want to leave in the comments, absolutely, guys. Keep the hype alive. I'll see you again next time.